Imagine a world where the very ground beneath your feet trembles under the weight of giants. Titans of industry with iron hearts and ambitions as vast as the horizons they conquer. This isn't just any story. This is the saga of two unstoppable forces, Caterpillar and SANY. Together, they dominate the heavy machinery landscape, commanding a market worth over $200 billion, where every move shakes the foundation of modern civilization. Caterpillar, a century-old colossus operating in 192 of 195 countries, has long been the unquestioned monarch of bulldozers and excavators. But just when the world thought its reign unbreakable, a challenger emerged from the east, ready not just to compete, but to rewrite history itself. Welcome to Motor Chronicles, where we unveil the battlefield behind the machines shaping our world. Before we dive deeper, take a moment to subscribe and join us on this thrilling journey through industrial warfare, innovation, and grit. And tell me, from which corner of the globe are you watching us today? Drop your answers in the comments and let's build this story together. Fast forward to today, and you might guess this duel was decades in the making. But the roots of this colossal rivalry stretch back over 100 years, marked by visions born in humble garages and small workshops, overshadowed by poverty but driven by dreams bigger than steel. Caterpillar was born from the ashes of the Holt Manufacturing Company, its yellow machines transforming barren lands into thriving cities, while SANY rose from the post-reform industrial landscape of China, where resilience was a necessity, not a choice. The story of Caterpillar is a classic tale of American industrial might, founded by Benjamin Holt, who, in the early 1900s, invented the first successful track-type tractor, an innovation born out of necessity when his traditional steam tractors would sink in the muddy fields of California. His grit set the stage for Caterpillar's legendary dominance. But could you imagine that Holt fought a fierce battle just to protect his invention's patent? That fight was only the beginning. Meanwhile, thousands of miles away, SANY's founder, Liang Wenjian, emerged from a modest family, driven by a relentless resolve to challenge the giants of his time. The irony is striking. As Caterpillar was expanding across continents with yellow machines that screamed power, SANY was silently engineering a game-changer amidst the ruins of a rapidly shifting Chinese economy. These two companies symbolize not just machines, but contrasting visions. A Western titan rooted in tradition and legacy, versus a nimble Eastern phoenix fueled by disruption and bold ambition. While Caterpillar's philosophy leans heavily on trusted engineering and durability, SANY thrives on aggressive pricing, cutting-edge manufacturing processes, and a willingness to shoulder risks unimaginable for a company of its age. But what sparked this fierce war? Was it simply business rivalry or something far more epic, a battle for identity and survival on a global scale? We'll uncover secrets of pricing strategies designed to undercut and dominate, business philosophies that mirror entire civilizations, and a war waged in markets from Africa's arid deserts to the bustling cities of America. This first chapter sets the stage, two titans awakening from slumber, eyes fixed on the prize, muscles tensed for the brutal contest ahead. As we journey through the ensuing chapters, you'll discover setbacks that almost broke them, innovations that changed the game forever, and a war that's far from over. Keep your eyes peeled because this war machine moves fast, and the story will surprise you at every turn. Before we charge ahead, remember to hit subscribe if you haven't already. Motor Chronicles is your front row seat to industrial legends and battles untold. And I'm curious, who are you rooting for in this clash of titans? Share your thoughts below. Your voice is part of this story. Strap in, because this isn't just history. It's a living, breathing saga, and you're on the front lines. The story of Caterpillar and SANY begins in the shadows of hardship, where iron wills clashed with poverty and visions were forged through struggle. Before the roaring engines and towering machinery, there were humble beginnings, often cruel and heart-wrenching. Caterpillar's roots trace back to Benjamin Holt, a man born into a farming family in the 19th century whose early life was marked by relentless toil and adversity. Holt, witnessing firsthand how traditional steam tractors sank helplessly in muddy fields, was driven by frustration to innovate. With little more than stubborn determination and a passion for invention, he pioneered the continuous track system which would revolutionize heavy machinery forever. Yet, Holt's road was far from smooth. Patents were contested and industrial rivals hungry to appropriate his ideas threatened to undo his work again and again. Across the vast Pacific, SANY's origin is a tale painted with equal parts resilience and revolutionary zeal. Liang Wenjian, the man destined to defy Caterpillar's global dominance, came from humble rural roots in China during a period when the country was awakening from decades of political and economic turmoil. Liang's upbringing in a modest family shaped his relentless attitude. He understood necessity as the mother of invention. While Caterpillar's beginnings centered on inventive engineering to conquer natural landscapes, SANY was born from a desire to redefine China's industrial landscape amid global competition. Against a backdrop of state reforms and a burgeoning economy, the fledgling company's early days were marked by grueling financial constraints and fierce competition. Examining these two origins reveals a profound irony. While their birthplaces and cultures were poles apart, the struggles both faced were strikingly similar. Both Holt and Liang grappled with limited resources, skepticism from the established order, and the pressure to not only survive but innovate against the odds. Holt once said, "I do not fear storms, for I am learning how to sail my ship." This ethos echoed in Liang's relentless drive to push SANY beyond its nascent limits, embodying an enduring human spirit found in all great stories of success. While Holt's journey was intertwined with the American Industrial Revolution's westward expansion, SANY's narrative unfolded amid China's economic transformation, from a closed market to a global powerhouse. These vastly different environments shaped their approaches. Caterpillar infused its pioneering machinery with sheer durability designed to tame wild, unforgiving terrains. SANY, on the other hand, embraced adaptability and incremental innovation, always adjusting its sails to the shifting economic winds. Yet, both empires experienced heartbreaks that could have ended their stories. Holt's initial tractors would falter in the mud, and his business flirted dangerously with bankruptcy before the continuous track technology took hold. Liang faced endless rejections and market skepticism. Investors doubted that a Chinese heavy machinery company could ever compete with Western titans. Each failure carved deeper determination in their hearts, turning setbacks into the very fuel that propelled them forward. As these two distinct iron roots stretched and grew, they began to cast shadows far beyond their origins. Holt's Caterpillar machines soon shaped the infrastructure and agriculture of a rapidly modernizing America, while SANY's machines started to appear in port cities and construction sites around Asia, signaling China's quiet ascendancy. Both were more than companies. They were symbols of transformation and hope for entire nations. But the real question that stirs intrigue is, did Holt and Liang ever imagine their creations would one day face each other in a global arena? Their stories, separated by continents and cultures, were destined to intertwine in a battle not just for market share, but for legacy. This chapter shows us that the seeds of that epic confrontation were sown deep in contrasting soils, watered by hardship, and nurtured by relentless ambition. Before moving forward, reflect on this. How often do we overlook the extraordinary resilience hidden behind humble origins? In the case of these two titans, it was that resilience that shaped the future of heavy machinery worldwide. Stay tuned as we unravel the next phase of their journey, a crucible of ambition and relentless pursuit. This is not just history. It is a lesson in persistence and vision that speaks directly to anyone facing seemingly insurmountable odds. The path from humble beginnings to global dominance is never smooth, and for Caterpillar and SANY, it was a battlefield marked by relentless ambition, fierce setbacks, and stories of near catastrophe that shaped their future. Benjamin Holt's innovation in continuous track technology was only the start. The road ahead was paved with challenges that tested the durability of his machines and the resilience of his company. Early Caterpillar tractors often struggled against harsh elements. Mud-swamped fields threatened to swallow the machinery whole, and mechanical failures could have spelled disaster. But Holt's vision was unyielding. He believed that every failure was but a lesson learned, a stepping stone towards something greater. As the 20th century dawned, Caterpillar became synonymous with American ingenuity, but it was anything but an undisputed champion right away. The company faced cutthroat competitors and internal financial struggles that could have broken lesser firms. There were tense moments when the viability of their products was under scrutiny, and pressure mounted to innovate faster, stronger, and with more precision. Holt's obsession with quality was legendary. He dedicated countless hours to refining every component, from the undercarriage steel alloys to the steam-powered engines that roared to life under his command. On the other side of the world, SANY's story unfolded amid a whirlwind of industrial shifts and fierce competition. Founder Liang Wangen's early attempts to grow the company were met with skepticism from an industrial environment still dominated by state-owned giants and global heavyweights. SANY's prototypes struggled to meet performance expectations, and some early machines failed quality control tests, casting doubt on the company's viability. But instead of crumbling under pressure, Liang adopted a tenacious approach. He famously said, "We may start small, but our ambition knows no bounds." This motto drove SANY's engineers to push boundaries and embrace rapid iterations, learning from mistakes faster than any rival could anticipate. The rivalry between Caterpillar and SANY heated up as both companies adopted aggressive strategies to protect and expand their market shares. Caterpillar, with its deep roots in Western industrial methods, focused on perfecting their machines' robustness and building a loyal customer base through reliability. But behind the scenes, internal struggles simmered, from labor disputes to debates over innovation and cost management. The company's leaders knew they had to evolve or risk becoming obsolete. Meanwhile, SANY embraced a bold, disruptive business model. By leveraging cost advantages and a willingness to take risks, they began undercutting competitors with competitive pricing, often at the expense of short-term profits. The gamble was clear: gain global foothold now, reap the long-term rewards later. This strategy unsettled established players and marked a turning point in how heavy machinery markets would operate. The irony was palpable. China's upstart was not playing by the old rules of legacy and tradition but rewriting them entirely. This period was also characterized by heartbreaking losses and near disasters. For Caterpillar, technological missteps such as delayed responses to digital integration and initial failures in automated machinery hinted at vulnerability. For SANY, misjudged market entries and overextending production lines proved costly. Yet, these crises gave both companies a unique phoenix-like ability to rise from ashes, fueled by a renewed sense of mission and ruthless optimization. And what of the human side? The founders' dedication transcended boardrooms and factories. It became a personal crusade. Holt's life was a relentless conquest against obstacles and industry skepticism, a man whose vision was shaped by the muddy fields he sought to conquer. Liang's journey was no less arduous, a relentless fight for recognition and survival in a world that underestimated his young company. In their stories, you find echoes of the underdog spirit, a reminder that behind every titan, there is a human heart that beats against overwhelming odds. As the 20th century gave way to the 21st, the stage was set for the conflict to reach new heights. The lines were drawn not only in marketplace territories but within technological blueprints and business boardrooms. The ambition of these companies was no longer local or regional. It had become global, epic, and unavoidable. So, what drives such relentless ambition? Is it the dream of legacy, the lure of profit, or something deeper, the undying human desire to leave a mark on the world that outlasts a lifetime? As we proceed, prepare to witness the clash of foundational philosophies, where East meets West in a high-stakes battle that will reshape the very machinery that builds our future. Stay with us for what's next. Innovation unleashed and ideologies challenged in the greatest industrial combat of our era. The battlefield was not only defined by machines and markets, but by a profound clash of ideologies. East versus West, tradition versus innovation, legacy versus disruption. Caterpillar, the embodiment of Western industrial might, held tight to a philosophy grounded in time-tested engineering, unparalleled durability, and customer loyalty built over decades. Its products were designed to last, with precision-crafted engines and components whispering tales of American manufacturing excellence. This approach prioritized reliability above all else, creating machines that could withstand the harshest environments and decades of use. Caterpillar's relentless focus on quality and after-sales service turned it into an industrial institution, a company that symbolized stability and trust in the global heavy machinery market. But SANY, emerging from the dynamic and rapidly changing economic landscape of China, challenged these conventions with a radically different mindset. SANY's philosophy was born from necessity and ambition, embracing agility, aggressive pricing, and rapid innovation cycles. Unlike Caterpillar's cautious premium pricing strategy, SANY saw value in speed, affordability, and adaptation. Their machines might not have carried the same legacy of decades, but they were often equipped with the latest technologies, optimized through iterative learning and cost efficiencies unique to China's industrial ecosystem. This aggressive posture was both a strategic necessity and a cultural paradigm, reflecting a country that had learned to reinvent itself time and again in the face of adversity. The pricing strategies alone sparked tense competition and endless boardroom debates. Caterpillar's premium prices reflected a commitment to maximal durability and service. They knew their clients depended on that reliability to maintain massive, expensive projects without costly downtime. Conversely, SANY's strategy to undercut prices disrupted markets by making advanced machinery accessible to a broader client base, especially in developing countries hungry for infrastructure growth. This pricing war was not just about numbers. It was about the control of emerging markets and who held the keys to future industrial development. These philosophical differences manifested vividly in manufacturing and business operations. Caterpillar's factories were temples of precision and consistency, with assembly lines refined over years to produce uniform quality. Their brand color, highway yellow, became synonymous with strength and dependability, a visual badge that customers trusted worldwide. Meanwhile, SANY's approach was more like a high-speed chase. Leaner factories, flexibility in production, and a culture that encouraged bold experimentation. SANY's embrace of newer manufacturing techniques, including robotics and digital process controls, allowed them to iterate product designs faster than their rivals. Yet, despite these differences, both philosophies shared a core value: an unrelenting drive to conquer the global market. The irony here is palpable. The East and West, though philosophically opposed, pushed each other to innovate and expand beyond comfort zones. The clash was not confined to machinery specs or pricing alone. It was a contest of identity and survival, determining whose way of doing business would dominate this century's infrastructure revolution. The battleground soon extended beyond factories and pricing models to geopolitical arenas. Trade policies and economic diplomacy began to play pivotal roles as both companies vied for influence in emerging markets from Africa to South America. SANY's alignment with China's Belt and Road Initiative amplified its reach, offering turnkey projects alongside machinery, contrasting with Caterpillar's long-established networks and decades of customer relationships. This raised the stakes into a fierce diplomatic and economic duel that transcended the industrial realm. Compounding this clash was the cultural tension ingrained in corporate behaviors. Caterpillar's disciplined corporate culture demanded conformity and incremental improvement, valuing calculated risk. SANY, meanwhile, thrived on disruptive innovation, where fast decisions and bold gambles were not just accepted but celebrated. This cultural dichotomy created a strategic dynamic where each titan constantly studied and tried to incorporate elements of the other's strengths. So, we ask you, the viewer, whose philosophy do you think holds the future? Is it the steady, tested legacy of Caterpillar's Western approach, or the bold, unyielding momentum of SANY's Eastern vision? The answer will shape infrastructure, economies, and lives worldwide for decades to come. As this ideological battle rages, brace yourself for the next chapter where these philosophies collide with groundbreaking innovations, setting the stage for a technological revolution that will shock the industry. Stay tuned for the continuing saga in the War of the Titans. Innovation is the heartbeat of any industrial giant, and the battle between Caterpillar and SANY has been nothing short of a technological arms race, where every breakthrough shifts the balance of power. Caterpillar's legacy of engineering excellence is steeped in pioneering feats that pushed boundaries for the 20th century. Their introduction of the vanadium steel undercarriage transformed the durability and lifespan of heavy machinery, enabling operations in the harshest environments, from frozen tundras to scorching deserts. This innovation was not just technical. It was symbolic of Caterpillar's commitment to reliability, power, and endurance. The yellow machines became synonymous with machines built to outlast the very projects they built. But Caterpillar's innovation journey wasn't free of ironic setbacks. Just as the company perfected the mechanical beast, the digital era dawned, demanding a new kind of transformation. The initial slow adoption of computerized controls and automation temporarily shook Caterpillar's confidence in its technological supremacy. In a twist few expected, the company had to learn to adapt not only machine parts but also innovation culture to fast-moving tech landscapes to stay relevant. SANY stepped into this moment ready to rewrite the rules. Their approach harnessed newer digital manufacturing techniques and robotics, enabled by China's massive investments in technology infrastructure. While Caterpillar's approach could be described as evolutionary, SANY's was revolutionary. Adopting 3D printing for prototype development, integrating smart sensors on machinery for real-time diagnostics, and deploying AI-driven robotics in production lines. This leapfrogging strategy infuriated and stunned the Western giant, as SANY machines rapidly improved in performance and sophistication, often priced at a fraction of Caterpillar's offerings. A particularly dramatic moment in this innovation saga was the launch of the intelligent excavator by SANY, a product that seemed torn from a fiction script. Equipped with sensors and AI algorithms, these machines could adjust their operations based on terrain and workload autonomously. Caterpillar, long the king of brute strength machines, had to scramble to counter this unexpected leap. This period was marked by an electrifying juxtaposition: Caterpillar's stubborn dedication to mechanical perfection versus SANY's embrace of flexible, digital-first innovation models. The irony is sharp. While Caterpillar focused on perfecting the foundational engineering that built the 20th century, SANY charged forward with innovations aimed squarely at the digital future. Both approaches have their champions and critics, but the true story lies in their evolving interplay. Behind the scenes, the research and development labs were battlegrounds themselves. Engineers at Caterpillar worked tirelessly to perfect the next generation of fuel-efficient engines and durable components, pushing the limits of vanadium steel and innovative hydraulics. Meanwhile, SANY's labs were buzzing with startups, joint ventures, and partnerships with tech firms, a stark departure from the traditional heavy industry model. The innovations were not just technical marvels but also cultural statements. Caterpillar's persistence was a tribute to industrial craftsmanship, while SANY's ambition reflected China's rise as a global technology contender. The stakes went beyond machines. They were about who would define the future of infrastructure development worldwide. So, dear viewer, as these technological marvels come to life, consider this dramatic irony. The two titans, born from different eras and philosophies, are now sprinting in parallel toward a future neither can fully predict. Will the steadfast perfection of steel and hydraulics continue to dominate, or will the nimble digital disruptors rewrite the rules? The answer hangs in the balance as we move into the next thrilling chapter, where the war for global domination spills into every continent, reshaping the world's infrastructure and economies. Stay with Motor Chronicles, because the story of these titans is a relentless saga of innovation, power, and ambition you won't want to miss. The arena of competition expanded far beyond factories and boardrooms. The war between Caterpillar and SANY became a relentless quest for global domination. With machines that build cities and reshape landscapes, neither titan could afford to remain confined to their traditional markets. Caterpillar, with over a century of international presence, had mastered the art of global expansion, embedding itself deeply in the infrastructure projects of nearly 200 countries. Its empire was built on decades of strategic partnerships, localized support, and an unmatched understanding of diverse markets from the deserts of the Middle East to the frozen expanses of Siberia. Their familiar yellow machines had become a ubiquitous symbol of progress worldwide. But SANY, fueled by China's rise as a global powerhouse, was not content with merely catching up. It aimed to rewrite the rules and redefine global infrastructure development. The company synchronized its global aspirations with China's Belt and Road Initiative, turning infrastructure projects into both business and geopolitical victories. SANY didn't just export machinery. It exported turnkey project solutions, blending engineering, financing, and construction into comprehensive packages that appealed to developing countries hungry for rapid modernization. This approach gave SANY a strategic advantage, especially in regions where infrastructure gaps were vast and opportunities seemingly endless. The battle for emerging markets ignited fierce rivalries, often framed by complex geopolitical factors. Caterpillar's deep roots and strong brand loyalty in mature markets were threatened by SANY's disruptive entry into countries in Africa, South America, and Southeast Asia. Here, price sensitivity often trumped long-standing brand prestige, giving SANY's cost-competitive machines a crucial edge. The drama was palpable as infrastructure megaprojects became not only symbols of national development but trophies of corporate conquest. Each victory fetched headlines, and each setback sent shockwaves through boardrooms thousands of miles away. This global contest was not without irony. Caterpillar, the symbol of American industrial power, faced the challenge of a rising China-aligned competitor who utilized state-backed resources and unconventional approaches to seize market share. Yet, instead of mere antagonism, this interaction spurred innovation and adaptation on both sides. Caterpillar accelerated efforts to improve financing options and after-sales services, recognizing that global dominance required more than great machines. SANY swiftly scaled up its manufacturing capacity and diversified its product lineup to meet the varied demands of global clients. The human element added layers of complexity to this worldwide struggle. Caterpillar's sales teams and engineers often found themselves navigating not only technical challenges but cultural and political minefields, while SANY's representatives operated under the high expectations of a company eager to prove that Eastern industrial might was no longer a distant dream but a current reality. Both sides understood that winning global hearts and minds mattered as much as building machines. Infrastructure projects initiated by these giants reshaped entire regions. Roads carved through mountains, ports expanded to accommodate global trade, and power plants fueled economic boomtowns. Each project brought a mix of hope and controversy, with communities experiencing both transformation and disruption. Caterpillar and SANY became architects of modern civilization, but also symbols in a larger narrative about power, progress, and the new world order. So, as we chart the course of these titans, consider this. The global invasion is more than a business strategy. It is an epic saga of ambition, identity, and relentless pursuit. Who will dominate the next frontiers of infrastructure, and at what cost? The answers lie in the battles still raging across continents. Stay tuned for the next chapter, where crises and comebacks put the titans to the ultimate test, shaking their foundations and defining what it means to endure in a world constantly on the brink of change. This is Motor Chronicles, the story of giants, battles, and the unyielding human spirit behind them. The story of giants is never complete without the shadow of crisis looming large, a threat capable of toppling even the most massive empires. Caterpillar and SANY, each titans in their own right, faced moments that shook their very foundations, testing the endurance of their vision and the fortitude of their resolve. For Caterpillar, the early 21st century brought a series of challenges that revealed cracks in its seemingly invincible armor. Economic downturns, such as the global financial crisis of 2008, triggered plummeting demand for construction equipment worldwide, squeezing profits and forcing painful restructurings. The company's reliance on traditional manufacturing processes and conservative strategies momentarily dulled its competitive edge in a rapidly evolving market. Meanwhile, SANY confronted its own trials by fire. Rapid expansion exposed operational vulnerabilities, overstretched supply chains, occasional quality control lapses, and leadership tensions threatened to unravel the hard-fought progress. Moreover, geopolitical tensions complicated SANY's global ascent, with trade restrictions and scrutiny increasing in critical markets. The company faced criticisms over government backing and accusations of aggressive pricing tactics, which some competitors deemed unfair. These crises were not just business hurdles but existential challenges, forcing SANY to reconsider and recalibrate its ambitions and methods on the global stage. Yet, it was in these moments of turmoil that both giants demonstrated a unique resilience, the phoenix rising from ashes. Caterpillar, known for its legendary durability, embarked on an ambitious transformation. The company invested heavily in digital technologies and automation, revamping its manufacturing processes and embracing new leadership philosophies centered on agility and innovation. It strengthened customer relationships through enhanced service models, shifting from product-centric sales to outcome-driven partnerships. This recalibration was a gamble, but it paid off by restoring Caterpillar's competitive position and revitalizing its brand reputation. At the same time, SANY doubled down on innovation and strategic partnerships. The company implemented rigorous quality controls and expanded its R&D divisions to lessen reliance on external suppliers. SANY also diversified its portfolio, venturing into renewable energy machinery and smart construction technologies. These moves illustrated a significant maturation, transforming the rookie challenger into a seasoned contender equipped to engage in a marathon battle for supremacy. Their comeback was not just about recovery but about redefining what it meant to be a global industrial leader in the modern era. The drama of this war for the crown extends beyond balance sheets. It touches on human stories of sacrifice, leadership clashes, and visionary decisions made under immense pressure. Both companies saw leaders push themselves and their teams to limits, often risking everything on bold bets that could either lead to triumph or catastrophic failure. This chapter reveals the spine-tingling moments when victory hung in balance, reminding us all that success is often built on the back of relentless struggle. And here lies an ironic twist. Two companies with such different origins and philosophies, forced by crisis to adapt strikingly similar solutions, embracing technology, customer intimacy, and sustainability. Could this convergence signal an end to their fierce dichotomy or just a new beginning in their rivalry? So, as you follow this epic tale, reflect on the truth of resilience in business and life. It is not the absence of adversity but the mastery of adaptation. The war for the crown today sets the stage for the Titan's legacy tomorrow. What happens next will define not only the fate of Caterpillar and SANY but also the very infrastructure of our interconnected world. Prepare for the grand finale in the final chapter, where legacy, impact, and future collide in an unforgettable conclusion to this saga. This is Motor Chronicles, bringing you the stories of industry's greatest warriors, their triumphs, and their lessons. As the dust settles on this epic saga, the legacies of Caterpillar and SANY stand as titanic monuments to human ambition, resilience, and unyielding will. Both companies have sculpted the physical infrastructure of modern civilization, from skyscrapers piercing city skylines to highways stitching continents together, but their impact stretches far beyond concrete and steel. They are emblematic of two different eras, philosophies, and economic dreams converging in a relentless contest that continues to shape our world. Caterpillar remains a symbol of industrial endurance, its name synonymous with durability and tradition. With a market reach spanning nearly 200 countries, its machines still run on the beds of countless construction sites, projects that define progress and modernity. The company's storied past echoes with lessons of grit and innovation, balancing heritage with adaptation in the face of relentless change. Caterpillar's legacy is a testament to staying power, riding out economic storms and technological revolutions with a steady hand, reminding us that empire is built brick by brick, Herculean effort by effort. SANY, on the other hand, represents the dynamic, disruptive force of a new industrial age. Rising from the shadows of economic reform and industrialization, it has become a symbol of the modern miracle of Chinese industry. SANY's growth narrative is wrapped in bold choices and a willingness to challenge the status quo. With investments in cutting-edge technology, global expansion aligned with political ambitions, and an aggressive approach to market penetration, SANY has transformed the heavy machinery landscape. It is a living example of how determination and innovation can rewrite the rules and challenge long-standing monopolies. But the true legacy of these titans is not measured solely in market capitalization or product sales. It is found in their lasting influence on infrastructure development, economic growth, and technological evolution worldwide. Both have pushed each other to new heights, fostering continuous improvement that benefits industries and communities globally. Their rivalry has spurred breakthroughs that have made construction safer, more efficient, and more accessible on every continent. The war between Caterpillar and SANY is far from over. As we gaze into the future, their battlefields are evolving, marked by sustainability challenges, digital transformation, and shifting geopolitical landscapes. These titans will continue to shape how societies grow and thrive, adapting their strategies to an ever-changing world. For those who watch closely, this conflict offers a masterclass in the power of vision, resilience, and the ceaseless drive to dominate. So, dear viewer, as our journey with these titans comes to a close, reflect on what you've witnessed. A story of two colossal forces clashing not just for billions, but for the very future of industry and civilization. If this tale has inspired or intrigued you, share your thoughts in the comments and become part of this ongoing story. And if you haven't yet, consider joining us at Motor Chronicles, where we bring you closer to the giants who shape our world. This is not just history. It is a living, breathing saga, one chapter of many in a relentless battle of titans. Thank you for watching. Until next time, keep your eyes on the horizon, where the next great industrial revolution awaits.